FM 94, The Dark, Jay-Z here, and I'm just finished up the concert, Five Finger Death Punch, Shinedown. Let's not forget 6 a.m. And the opening act was called As Lions. These guys are from the UK, and I'm talking right now to Stephen Whiting of the band As Lions. He's the bassist. First of all, how the hell are you doing?
Man, I'm fantastic. We had a fantastic show tonight out here in Wisconsin, and I'm on top of the world right now, I gotta say.
This is pretty cool, man. First of all, I found out that this was the first show on the whole tour that was actually sold out. And I was there right away at 6 o'clock, and that place looked packed. What was it like playing in front of a crowd like that?
I gotta say, it's pretty incredible. I mean, like, most of the tour, it's either been like 80%, 75%, 90% sold out. But by the time we hit the stage and pretty much the rafters, every tier, they had a person in the seat by the time we played. It was incredible for us. It was like I mean, no disrespect to Five Finger Death Punch, but it was like we were headlining already. You know, there were so many people that were there for us, and it was a privilege, you know, to play to you guys.
All right, here's what I like to do on The Dark. I like to get to know bands. So you're a new band, an up-and-coming band. Obviously, you're from the UK. Let's get a little history about the band. First of all, As Lions, give us the details. How did this band all become about?
Okay, so Austin, Connor and Will were originally in a band called Rise to Remain. They disintegrated about a year and a half to 2 years ago. Things kind of happened, and you know the band kind of fell out and they disintegrated. And I knew Connor for a while back. I'm 27 now, but Connor and I, the guitarist, we've been knowing each other since the age of like 17, 18, and we've been touring the local circuit together. And after the Rise to Remain disintegrated, myself and Connor basically got in contact, and Connor was like, "Hey, are you doing anything at the moment?" And at that moment in time, I was actually on tour with a band called Bad Sign doing their merch. And I was like, "Hey man, like, I'm not doing much at the moment. I'm on tour with Bad Sign, and I'm studying at university." And Connor was like, "Hey, we're looking for a bass player. What's up?" And I said, "Yeah, I'd love to be. Man, I've been knowing you for so long. I'd love to make some music with you." And yeah, that's kind of how we pretty much got together. It was basically three members from the last band looking for two other members, which is myself, the bass player, and our drummer.
You were talking about here as we were sitting in the hotel room right now, you were talking about some of the band members actually have some pretty famous fathers, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, it's not something we don't really like to talk about as such, because we like to make our own name.
Exactly.
But if I just say The Trooper or Hallowed Be Thy Name, you can kind of imagine what kind of fathers we might have in this band, you know.
That's fine. I respect that for you because you guys are obviously trying to make a name for yourself. Let's talk about the name, As Lions. How did you guys come up with that name? Is there a meaning behind that?
Okay, I mean, when we was discussing names, it was kind of a very, very British thing. We wanted to, you know, we knew that we was going to be aiming out the box, you know. We didn't just want to aim to the English market. We wanted to aim to the rest of the world. And I think that really kind of stands really clear and predominant is the Lions. You know, you think of the English football team or soccer team, as you call it over here, you know, you see the 3 lions on the shirt. You know, we saw, you know, a pride of lions, and a pride of lions is like female lions, but we saw it as like, you know, a bunch of guys standing as one. We wanted to do the best. We've been in and out of bands, whether the old band with Rise to Remain or myself, you know, in older bands. We just wanted to stick together as one. And we just saw that as a very strong thing. So it was a pride of Lions, and that's how we kind of saw it. It was a very British thing. We wanted to be united as one, and that's kind of how we saw ourselves. So as Lions, as a pack. You know?
Awesome. We're talking to Stephen Whiting of the band As Lions, and of course he just finished up a show here in La Crosse, Wisconsin tonight. Hey, let's talk about a little bit more about the band and your members and that. And you know, you talked about kind of how you got all together and that. But what's it like coming over from the UK to the US of A and playing in front of these fans?
It's incredible. I mean, when we found out we was opening up for 6 a.m., Shinedown and Five Finger Death Punch, we really didn't know what to do with ourselves. You know, we thought we was really at our depths. We have a half an hour set. to do the best we can, to win over as many fans as we can, to get as many people knowing our music as much as we can. It's been incredible. Everyone in America has really greeted us with open arms, and I don't know if that's the English accent or the music, so I'm not entirely sure, but everyone's really received the music well, the EP Aftermath. And it's been an absolute privilege, to playing to 6AM's fans, Shinedown's fans, and Five Finger Death Punch's fans. It's been an absolute privilege, and to make fans out of their fans, we feel on top of the world. The bands have been great themselves. 6AM, Shinedown, Five Finger Death Punch. They've treated us with the utmost respect. It's been fantastic. I can't say better about them. They're incredible guys to hang out with.
The UK obviously has got some awesome music over there, and it seems like currently you guys are starting to get back on the map again. There's a lot of active rock bands that are really hitting it heavy now. I think of Royal Blood being one of them, and so many other bands too. Even Bring Me the Horizon too, another one too. Talk about the UK scene and the bands over there currently right now.
The UK scene is very it's not as theatrical as the American scene, I would say. Some of my favorite bands are very underground, but very, very they're huge with the fans. Some of my favorite bands are like Architects, Feed the Rhino, Bring Me the Horizon, Moose Blood. All of these fantastic, amazing bands that deserve the world. But they're very, very underground, but they have dedicated fans. It's really weird. It's like over here in America, like everything's like, here's the shining star. Everyone wants to be the next big thing over here, and I get it. It's great. It's fantastic, and we appreciate everything. But back home in the UK, it's kind of like the more underground you are. For example, like While She Sleeps, a fantastic band from Sheffield out in the UK. It's very DIY. It's very do-it-yourself, and they have all the respect from UK fans because they've been on the circuit for a very long time, and they've just done everything, and they're fantastic. And it's kind of like the more underground you are, the better you are in the UK. And this is why we're so appreciative out here, in America, because we understand the stardom. Out here in America, it's very much the winner. Back home in the UK, it's just very much the underdog. So it works both ways. In the UK, I wouldn't say we had as much fans as we do out here in America. So when we play here in America, we have a lot of people digging us. When we play back home in the UK, we have a lot of people digging us, but for different reasons because we're like the underdog. So but either way, whether it be in the UK or in America, it's fantastic.
All right. One question I always ask the artist is, obviously you guys don't have a large library yet, but if there's somebody out there that you would love to cover an As Lions song, what artist would you love to cover one of your songs?
Oh man, I don't know, man. The thing is that we're very influenced by a lot of different people and a lot of different bands. Myself, I'm a huge hip hopper. I grew up on 60s music. I grew up on 70s music. I love disco. I love hip hop. I love rap. I love R&B. But then other guys in the band are really into like the Whitechapel and stuff. This is the great thing about As Lions. It's we're influenced by so many different people. We could write a list of 100 bands, and it'd be really, really hard to find a band to cover us. I mean, like every day at soundcheck, I play "You Could Be Mine" by Guns N' Roses on bass. I think that's an amazing bass line. But then my guitarist Will Homer, he will play like some Whitechapel stuff. And then like Connor might play something else, and then so it's really hard to say who would be great to cover us. I would love so many people to cover us. I really couldn't name a name right now. Because we're influenced by so many stuff, and I think that's the best way to be. If you're stuck in a box and you're only influenced by a certain genre or anything, but we're influenced by so much, from 60s onwards. It's really, really hard, to kind of answer that. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Fair question. Last question I'm going to ask you. Obviously, you have an EP out right now. You were talking to me coming in January. You have an album coming out. Let's talk about that a little bit and how people can maybe start gravitating towards the band As Lions.
Okay, so pretty much our album's coming out in January, but some of it was recorded in New Jersey with David Bendeth, and some of it was recorded with Kane Cherko. You might know the name with Kevin Cherko, who recorded a lot of Five Finger Death Punch. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what you guys expect from us, but it's. You should definitely check it out. There's a lot of heavy stuff. There's a lot of melodic stuff. There's a lot of acoustic stuff, and we just kind of hope you guys enjoy it. From working with David Bendeth at the House Loud, and the guys working with Kane Cherko. I don't know. All I can say is check it out and make your own mind up.
And if more people want information about As Lions, how can they do so? How can they find out about that?
Okay, you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Twitter. Just type in As Lions. You can definitely find out what we're doing on any of those social platforms.
Awesome, man. Hey, a lot of fun talking to you. You looked awesome out there tonight in La Crosse here. Continue on with the tour, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you guys.
Once again, that is Stephen Whiting. He's the bassist of As Lions.